They took his land without warning. He took their homes without mercy. James Walker had inherited 1,500 acres of lush, untouched land from his grandfather, a proud World War II veteran who had worked his entire life to protect it. The property had been in their family for over a century, a living legacy that James planned to turn into a wildlife sanctuary. But one morning, he opened his mailbox to find something that made his blood run cold: a letter from the local HOA claiming his land had been auctioned for unpaid community fees. The catch? James didn't live in the HOA's community, had never agreed to join it, and owed them nothing. When he called to demand answers, the smug HOA president, Linda, told him it was too late and that developers were already moving in. "You should have read the fine print," she said with a laugh. Furious, but composed, James hired the best property attorney in the state. After weeks of digging, they uncovered something explosive. The HOA had forged documents to claim jurisdiction over his land and had sold it illegally to fund their own pet projects. James took them to court, and not only did the judge restore full ownership of his land, but James also won a massive financial judgment against the HOA. That's when he played his masterstroke. Using the court's decision and liens against the HOA, James legally acquired multiple properties owned by the very board members who had stolen from him, including Linda's sprawling mansion. Within months, for sale signs popped up across the neighborhood, and panic set in as residents realized their board's corruption had cost them everything. When reporters swarmed his property for a statement, James stood on his porch and said, "They thought they could take what my family built. Now, I'm just returning the favor legally." The HOA dissolved in disgrace, several members faced criminal charges, and James's victory became a cautionary tale for communities across the state. Standing once again on his land, overlooking the wide fields his grandfather once plowed, James felt a deep sense of peace. They had tried to erase his legacy, but instead, they'd only made it stronger and ensured that no one would ever dare challenge him again.